Hey guys, in today's video I want to talk to you about focus breathing, what it is, why it happens, and should you care about it. Okay, so focus breathing is not something new. It's been around as long as lenses have been around. It's not specific to photographic equipment. Anything that's pulling focus, any kind of lens, can suffer from it. And I say suffer from it because there are some downsides, although it may not bother you or affect the kind of shooting you do whatsoever. Basically, when you've zoomed to a certain focal length, say you're using the 24 to 70, you zoom out to 70, and then you frame your shot up, and then you pull focus, the field of view can move slightly, get bigger or get smaller, depending on whether you're focusing closer or further away. This happens on cheap lenses and on the highest end lenses. And while some higher end lenses are designed to try and minimize it, it's really hard to eliminate it altogether. To the question of should you care about it, for a lot of shooting, maybe not. And if you've never heard of the term, then it's probably never really affected you in a way that would bother you. But sometimes if you are trying to perfectly match up, line up a certain frame of a shot, and then you refocus and it significantly changes the field of view of the lens, that can be an issue for you because, then it's suddenly thrown off and you need to zoom back out and then refocus again. And it especially is of importance if you're doing macro work or focus stacking, which I'll explain in a later video. But today I've brought out the Nikon Holy Trinity, the 14 to 24, the 24 to 70, and the 70 to 200. And I'm actually going to run through on each of these lenses in video and show you how much focus breathing they have. Okay, now here we are on the sublime 14 to 24. That's at closest focus at 14 mil. Now to infinity. And back to closest. Yeah, there's some there. And on a wide shot like that, it could really show up in prints that, equates to, maybe half a mil or something like that. Then at the long end, there's 24 mil. That's at infinity. And that's close. Then back to infinity. And then back to close. So a little bit there as well. Okay, so here we are on the Nikon 24 to 70 at 24 mil at furthest focus. Now let's focus it all the way in. And you see the frame got wider, focusing back to infinity, and now back into closest focus. So there is a bit of variation even at that wide end. Now let's zoom it out to 70 mil. Okay, there we are at closest focus, and then going out to furthest focus. A tiny amount, really not much at all, of focus breathing at that end of the scale. Okay, then here we are on the 70 to 200 at 70 mil. There we are at closest focus, and as we focus it out to infinity, you can see there is a bit of breathing there, but it's not too bad. And that's back to closest, and then back to infinity. You saw my finger jump in there. Now let's focus into 200 mil, zoom in. So we're at infinity focus there. Let's bring it back to closest focus. And there's significant breathing. Back to closest focus. Really, really noticeable at that 200 mil end. So zooms, you can kind of understand it. The elements are all moving around. Once they've shifted as you've zoomed and then you go to focus, they may need to make fine adjustments. So that can happen. But what about prime lenses where there is no zoom? Like the 85 1.4. Fantastic lens, beautiful lens, expensive lens. Will it suffer from it? Let's have a look. So here we are on the 85 1.4. It's at f16, which is its smallest aperture opening, and that's at furthest focus. So let's see what happens as we pull it to closest focus. Yep, the scene changed. And really significantly noticeably so. If you're doing a close-up shot, that could be the difference between just keeping in the top of someone's head or just cutting it off. Okay guys, so that's focus breathing. I hope that was useful to you. It's something that people do ask about. I was surprised by the amount that these actually do focus breathe. I haven't noticed it that much on shoots I have from time to time, and it has been an issue very rarely, but occasionally. But there you go. Even, the creme de la creme do have focus breathing issues. So thanks for watching. Please click to like, click to subscribe, share this around, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Focus breathing. My mum said I could have been a stand-up comic. Dad said she's full of shit, but anyway. Hey, you may also like to check out my video on focus stacking, the video on the Nikon Holy Trinity, how to use extension tubes, and how to make circle photographs. Cheers!